You know, everything is bigger in Texas. I mean, it's not just the hot summers, the extreme weather, or the natural disasters. And it's not just the heavy traffic or the urban sprawl in the major cities. And it's not just the high property taxes, the water scarcity, the drought, or the political divides. Oh no. Texas now has been crowned the #2 state with the most significant number of foreclosures. They rose 7% last month. Only Florida had more. So what's going on with Texas, and why are so many people now out of love with Texas? And that's why I'm doing this video, guys. I want to give you the top 10 reasons why people are actually hating on Texas. It's amazing. But if you didn't know it, my name is Jerry with Jerry Pincus Real Estate Experts. The reason I do these videos here on this channel is to help you to avoid those pitfalls that are costly. So give me a thumbs up if you're good with that. Now let's start with number 1. Many Texans complain about high property taxes because residents don't pay state income tax. The state's economy is largely supported by charging these higher property taxes, which are truly shocking to some when they see the size of their tax bill. Now, Texas homes, even these brand new townhomes, are subject to the 6th highest property taxes in the nation, with an average property tax rate of 1.81%. Now, this state heavily relies on property taxes to pay for all kinds of government services. Number 2, hot summers. I mean, it's hot. Extreme weather and natural disasters. So if you live in Texas, you're going to experience some extreme weather. Now, some locals, they say that summers are hotter than blue blazes, and I'd agree with that because the humidity is crazy. Now, you also want to make sure that you don't get hit with golf ball sized hail or stuck in a tropical storm or hurricane. Texas is known as the #2 state in the nation for hurricanes. Now, compare that to places like South Carolina, which have 50% fewer hurricanes. If you live in Texas, preparedness is super important, especially when you lose power or internet access, because in some parts of Texas, they flood regularly and consistently with every other rainstorm. So if it rains for 2 hours, even if you're not in a flood zone, this can happen to you. To avoid flooding, many consider the northern part of the state, but that area has its own problems as well, because a majority of northern Texas is located directly in Tornado Alley. Number 3, water scarcity and drought. Now, in Texas, you'll hear terms like Pacific jet stream and Bermuda high and El Nino cycles. Now, these can all make Texas prone to either flooding or extreme drought. And during some of these dry spells, you'll hear locals say it's drier than a popcorn fart around these parts. Now, what that really means is that the local officials, they can impose a water use restriction on you in an effort to conserve water. Now, a stage 3 water restriction can mandate things like car washes and showers and things like 1 day every 2 weeks irrigation and sprinkler use. And your designated day is based on the last digit of your address. Now, in Texas, you can be stuck in traffic that's slower than a month of Sundays. I mean, major cities in Texas have heavy traffic and urban sprawl and are now feeling the effects of all of this population growth. As the number of people increases, so does the traffic. Even a simple trip to the grocery store can at times turn your trip into a 2-hour traffic nightmare. Number 5, aggressive drivers. Now, on the other hand, in Texas, you will find people driving like a scalded haint. Now, I don't know what a haint is, but apparently a scalded one can drive really fast and crazy. Because there's so much land to cover, people drive fast in Texas. Now, if you prefer driving at moderate speeds, you might not like this, since the speed limit on some freeways is upwards of 85 miles an hour. Besides battling congestion issues and traffic, Texans must also deal with collisions and skyrocketing insurance premiums. It's happening. Traffic slowdowns and congestion can be caused by many things, including unsafe speed at 90 or 100 miles an hour on the highway, and then tailgating and crazy lane changing. Fact is, 25.7% of car crashes in Texas were a result of driving at unsafe speed. And running stop signs and red lights accounted for 10.4% of all car wrecks in Texas. And road accidents in rural areas accounted for 51.42% of all reported traffic fatalities. But in Texas, last year alone, 244,092 people were injured in car crashes. One wreck every 57 seconds. One person injured every 2 minutes and 9 seconds. One person killed every 1 hour and 57 minutes. Those numbers are crazy. Number 6, everything's bigger in Texas. And some say it's just too dang big. Now you may hear locals saying you'll run all over hell in a half acre just to get anywhere because everything is so far spread out. For example, driving east to west in Texas is 740 miles and it would take 10 hours. And you can end up in a different time zone if you're still in the same state. Now the outcome is the same if you're traveling from north to south. So getting anywhere can be an undertaking. But traveling from major cities within Texas, it can take between 3 to 5 hours by car. And locals say there's nothing close by. Even in-town driving can be an issue because everything is so far spread out. Number 7, access to affordable health care. Now, although Texas has plenty of employment opportunities and a booming economy, it's the quality of life that ranks 46 out of 50 states, according to Business Insider. It's kind of crazy though, right? This is because the health care can be difficult in some remote and rural areas of Texas. Now, when we're talking about healthcare access and affordability, the state ranks near the bottom of all the states. More than 20% of all adults living in the state of Texas have no health insurance. Number 8, political divides. Now, you've heard "Don't California my Texas" slung around here, but in reality, many people who are moving to Texas are from other states, even California. But just like everywhere in the United States, Texas political divides can be super extreme. Now, if you just ask any Texan in general, you may not be very vocal, but if you bring up politics, you're on your own and expect to get an earful. Now, one local said, and I quote, "If you don't like guns, don't move to Texas. And if you don't think you're going to get them outlawed here, because even the liberals here in Texas own firearms." End of quote. Number 9, regarding bugs, Texas has got a lot of them. The warm and wet conditions are almost perfect breeding ground for skeeters. And Deep Woods Off bug spray, it's the perfume of Texas all spring, summer, and fall. Now, some of the more common insect problems in Texas include bees and wasps, fire ants, spiders, roaches, and termites. And Texas requires a lot of routine maintenance for everything from pest control to HVAC systems. So make sure that you budget accordingly. Number 10, the cost of living in Texas. Now, home pricing has gone up considerably. And most home prices in Texas, anywhere in the city, it's high. But hold your horses. If you stay away from the city and you consider the rural areas, the cost of rent and housing is less than the national average. Now, locals, they're saying that, again, and I quote, "Prices are high because these wealthier people are coming in from California and places that overpay, and lots of Texans who saved years for a house, they're suddenly priced out." And this is a very real thing, and it happens a ton of time in the 700,000 and plus range. But one thing is for sure, Southerners sure do know happiness when they see it. Now, some say that Texas is fine as a frog hair, split 4 ways. I don't know, what are your thoughts? Love it or leave it? Go ahead, put it in the comments. I really want to know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking, right? Oh, by the way, you're going to find over 1,400 super helpful videos here on this channel if you go ahead and subscribe. And if you didn't already know, I'm Jerry with Jerry Pincus Real Estate Experts. I'm here to help you to avoid those pitfalls that are costly and to find your hidden gem. So until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.